To quote Jeff Buckley, shit's happening now. It's all about now, now, now. Bigger, faster, sweatier, skinnier, blacker, whiter, gracer. I absolutely love this quote. Actually, it's not really a quote, it's more like a line, as it's from one of Jeff's concerts back in the 90s. Specifically, his concert Live in Chicago, filmed on the 13th of May in 1995. This is such an epic performance, to say the least. So if you're already a Jeff fan, awesome, you're an amazing person in my books already. But if you haven't listened to him much before, man, I highly recommend it. Jeff's music is life-changing. And for me, Jeff's one of those artists that you can listen to get yourself through the good times and through the bad times. Like one of my favorite songs from him is Love You Shoulda Come Over. And I've used that song to get through really good times, but I've also used that exact same song to get through really hard times as well. And those sort of artists, where the music stays the same, but the reason you're using it changes, those artists are special. And they're really important too. So what I'll do is I'll link the song below that Jeff actually goes into at this live performance after he says that quote that I mentioned above. It's Grace, one of his most famous songs, and it's such an awesome version of it, so hit the link below. And look, I could honestly go on about Jeff forever and the impact that he's had on me, but I won't today. I'll save it for another day, because that's not the point of today's video. So what is the point of today's video? Well, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. If we go back to that quote, it's a simple reminder that everything we do in life, it's all about now. It's all about the current time. It's all about the present moment. It's all about now, now, now. Everything you do, every decision you make, it's all about taking action now. So we're coming up near the end of 2024, and it's the perfect time to reflect on how well we put our best foot forward throughout the year. You had goals. I had goals. We all had goals. Did you achieve them? And if not, why not? Don't get down on yourself or get upset about not achieving them. Ask yourself why you didn't achieve them. What happened? I think one of the main reasons is because we're living in a modern, developed society. So subconsciously, there's no real urgency in our day-to-day. You know, I'll get to it tomorrow. That's a really common way to think about things that you want to get done. But do not fall into the trap of thinking that you can get to it tomorrow. You cannot get to it tomorrow. You can't and you won't. And you know why? Well, A, it's a shit attitude right off the bat. And B, there actually is no tomorrow. Back to what Jeff said, it's all about now. I'll go for a run tomorrow. No, you won't. I'll start the daily practice that I always talked about on the 1st of January, once the new year ticks over. No, you won't. Tomorrow, I'm going to put my phone down and I'm going to use that time for something really, really productive. No, you won't. I'm going to get up earlier as of tomorrow. Well, actually, maybe you will do that one tomorrow because you need to do that one tomorrow as you're already awake today. And so the next time to do it would be tomorrow. So you get a pass on that one. That one can be tomorrow. Anyway, my point is that you need to start creating urgency in your immediate life. You need to start doing things now rather than putting off important things to tomorrow that you can just start doing today, seriously, in this very current moment. Start taking some serious interest in your day-to-day life and stop taking it for granted. Because guess what? This is it, man. You're living it. This is your life. It's currently passing you by as we speak. And as far as we know, we don't get another shot at it. And it sounds heavy. I know, like most of these videos, I'm sort of hitting on topics that are a little bit more thought-provoking and hard-hitting, I suppose. But that's because life is heavy, man. I just want to shake you sometimes and shake some life back into you. This is it. This is it. Life is truly what you make of it. There is opportunity for everyone involved. So it's a decision to getting better, body and mind, which in turn aids you creatively. Then just understanding the steps involved. And at that point, just taking the first step. Taking action with urgency now. You have to take that first step today, not tomorrow, because there is no tomorrow. That is the key, taking action right now. I read this amazing book a few years back called Born to Run. Now, this was at a time when I wasn't really a reader per se. This is many years ago, but I was a runner and I was absolutely loving it. I was actually clocking about 60 to 70 kilometers a week. It was a total lifestyle. Anyway, this book tells the story of Christopher McDougall and his quest to find out what humans are truly capable of in terms of running. So he was plagued by injury and he was questioning the conventional advice that he'd been given for running. But what I love about his story and what's always stuck with me is his turning point. So he was already a runner and living quite a textbook normal life. Then one night when he was having a few drinks with a few friends, he basically just reached a point where he'd had enough with it all. With his injuries, his day-to-day, his body packing in, and in turn his mind packing in, all of it. So he decided right then and there, whilst wearing his jeans at like 2 a.m, to grab all of his things and run 10 kilometers home, as he wanted to start making some necessary changes right then and there. He was acting on urgency and immediacy. And this story isn't even about that moment specifically, but man, do I love it. Acting on things now. That's always stuck with me. So this word comes up a lot for me, and I talk about it a lot on my social media, but it's attitude. Make no mistake, it's the attitude that you bring to the world, it's the attitude that you present yourself with to the world that dictates the attitude that you get back from the world. And a great way to approach things is living in a constant state of gratitude that you were given the gift of loving the craft of your instrument and removing all expectations and getting into a rhythm of showing up daily to do the work that you need to do to help move the needle to get the life you want. I mean, you want to be a better musician, right? Or a better creative in general. This isn't just musician specific. This is just creativity in general. So someone that gets more opportunities, world-class opportunities. That sounds good, right? Great. Well, here's the starting point. Adjust your attitude. Adjust the way that you're presenting yourself to the world. Like literally start paying the universe with your good attitude, your time, your commitment, your consistency, and then just do the work. That's literally it. And then you can just let the chips fall where they may. I often say this, but your instrument owes you nothing. Just because you have the physical capabilities of picking up a set of drumsticks and you love doing it does not mean that you're entitled to a career from it. So it's really important to keep that in mind. Now, yes, you can have the career you want, but you're not entitled to it. So how do we aid it? Well, a good start is living your day with gratitude. And then the next step is having a pro attitude. So a pro attitude towards your craft and everything around it. That will definitely increase your odds. Look, here are some facts about me. I started drumming when I was 13 years old. I ran away from home and school at 15 years old and started working at a local supermarket and couch surfing. I found out that I was going to be a dad at the tender age of 19. I have sold all of my gear multiple times just to put food on the table. But as long as I had my practice pad, I was completely content with that. And to offer true stability for my family, I actually had a career in a whole different industry for 15 years while I was pursuing my craft, while I was increasing the value of my craft. But guess what? Like none of these things prevented me from moving forward. None of these things were barriers because my attitude's always been, well, at least I've got my practice pad. At least I can keep working on my craft. I'm just trying to give some context here that we all have stories, we all have problems, we all have day-to-day issues that can be barriers, but that's a choice. If you're letting something get in the way of you and pursuing your dreams, that's a choice. And man, it was hard sometimes. I cannot even tell you how hard it's been over the last 25 years for many different reasons. We've all had hard times, but I never felt like I wasn't in control of my future. I just played the cards that I was dealt at that given time, kept working on my playing, kept working on my attitude, kept working on my gratitude, kept working on my mind and body, and with that, always felt like I was in full control. And look, man, I knew that my time would come eventually, more on that soon, if I just kept showing up, warts and all, and putting in the work on and off the kit. Okay, I really can't stress how the off the kit work needs to be done. And that's all I'm ever trying to get across here. You are 100% in control of your life, regardless of circumstance, man. And I know that's sometimes a bit of a hard pill to swallow, but I really need to drill that in. Your life is no one else's problem. So to put it simply, your life, your responsibility. And that's all I'm ever trying to teach my students. I don't teach a lot anymore, but the students that I still do work with, that's all I'm trying to get across. You want something in this world? Great. Let's start doing the work. It's there. Just go get it. And will it happen straight away? No, absolutely not. Long-term slow burn for all the good things in life, okay? If there is a long journey ahead of you and it's going to take a lot of tedious work, it's probably a good thing. It culls out the herd. The process culls out the herd, and only the committed get the fruits of the labor. And look, man, in some cases it may take 20 years. But like I said earlier, just be consistent. And again, make payment to the universe with a good attitude and gratitude. Be dedicated, show commitment, and most importantly, be consistent. And I suppose I'll add here that if you're naturally one of those people that struggle to have a good attitude, I understand this. But there's a way to work around this as well, and this is a very common thing in personal development. Just fake it. It's a really, really known thing that faking personality traits that you ultimately want will actually have a cognitive impact on you. They actually start to embed and take over. Even with presets, you still have control. And as they always say, just fake it till you make it. Neuroplasticity is a real thing. You should Google it. This is giving you the awareness that your brain is just a computer. It can get set in its ways, but it's still malleable and you can still adapt at any point in life. So to wrap it up, I'd like to end where I started with Jeff. It's all about now, so don't waste it. Regardless of what's been going on this year, every year's a gift, okay? So going into 2025, make the most of it. Thanks for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. If you like these videos or you want to get my weekly newsletter on these topics, you can head over to masterminddrummer.com. But apart from that, I'll talk to you soon. See ya.